In a massive operation, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has sealed over 3,000 drug shops in Lagos and confiscated 24 truckloads of fake drugs in Anambra and Abia states. According to Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, Director General of NAFDAC, the agency has discovered 2 massive warehouses stocked with fake and expired medicines in Aba, Idumota, and Onitsha. The seized items include expired potassium chloride, allergy medications, immune boosters, and cholesterol treatments.
Now, according to NAFDAC, the seized items, which also include Cocodamol and counterfeit GSK Ampiclox, were swiftly evacuated in an ongoing crackdown on the illegal trade, which has led to the arrest of several individuals, though the prime suspect remains at large. Joining us this morning to discuss the menace of fake drugs in Nigeria is public affairs analyst Professor Simeon Nnah. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Breakfast Central.
Welcome, viewers.
Now, how significant is the problem of fake drugs in Nigeria today, and the recent incidents we've seen of this Boston, Lagos, Aba, how does it highlight the urgency of addressing it?
Matter of fact, I don't know where to start with, because this has been a recurring decimal. Record in the days of Kunyele. I think she was the first person that made this fake drug an issue, a major issue in Nigeria. And they almost killed her. They shot at her, and thank God for her headgear. The thing pierced her headgear, and it was those people that are dealing on this fake drug that shot her. So it's a thing that the government should think about seriously. And I have a challenge with NAFDAC. The challenge with NAFDAC is that I don't think they're operating with intelligence like the NDLA. You see that each time NDLA will strike, they strike with intelligence, they hit the target and get what they want and move out. But in the case of NAFDAC, they just wake up one morning, move into a place. They don't.
You think it's just random busts?
Yes, it is. It is not the best. Look at the issue in Onitsha now. I learned they went, raided some shops that even the owners of those shops were not there. Raided 5 adjoining markets that are not dealing in drugs. Like people that are dealing in, they say pharmaceutical materials, surgery materials, people that are dealing in carpentry materials, plumbing materials. They went and raided them.
What does that have to do with drugs?
You see, no sane individual will support fake drugs. But when you want to root out people that are on this thing, please do it with precision. Ensure that the people now they shut out the market for how many days now? Since the 9th. And I listened to the DG NAFDAC, and she was saying that they have not even determined when they are going to open those markets. And look at the people that are not involved in fake drugs. What are you doing about them?
And was any laboratory test carried out to determine those drugs are fake?
They have not determined anything. That's what they are now saying, that they want to now find out. They want to do thorough investigation. In fact, she was saying that of Lagos will be opened very soon, which is a political statement as far as I'm concerned, because very soon can be this time next year. But once politicians are talking and they are telling you very soon, they don't mean anything, because you can't pin them down on very soon. And they said that of Aba and Onitsha, they have not even determined when they are going to open those markets. So what we are saying is that yes, they should go and root out those fake drugs, because the fake drug is affecting everybody. You never know who is going to buy the fake drug, where you are going to buy it from. You might say you are going to a big pharmaceutical. Those big pharmaceuticals companies don't manufacture, some of them don't manufacture this drug. They bring them in from Aba, Onitsha, and what have you. So when you say it doesn't concern me, well, one day you get sick and you get to the hospital and you never can tell. They might administer you with the fake drug. So what we are saying in effect is that these people should move with precision. They should be able to, know the people that are on this fake drug, go there and arrest them. Yes. Okay, now they say the people are at large, which means they were not operating with intelligence.
But I think that doesn't, take away the fact that we do have a challenge when it comes to getting quality, correct medication. We have reports of people who have died because they've taken fake medication. I mean, even looking at food, interestingly, just in our makeup room, I have a bag. I bought chin-chin 2 days ago from a certain supermarket, and I didn't realize until I got home and I saw that the manufacturing date and the expiry date was, the manufacturing date reads 10th of May 2025. We're in February.
Wow, you are eating your future
chin-chin, you know? So the manufacturing date reads 10th February and the expiry date reads 2027, which obviously tells me
that chin-chin is using AI.
AI, right? It obviously tells me that is an expired product and they've just fabricated the date. You know, so what is it that makes it easy for us to be able to, if that check wasn't done, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah.
So what is it? Would you say it's weak regulations? Or would you say maybe we don't have stronger prosecution? What would you say are the factors that are ensuring that we have problems like this?
There are so many factors. You've highlighted some. Some of them are, I don't think they have adequate staff to go around some of these shops to find out these things. Because, you see, it's easy to stay in the office and give a NAFDAC number, give a license to somebody, he pays for it and walks away. What he does with that number, you don't know. Experience has shown that they use that number for so many other products outside the product that NAFDAC has registered. So I think they don't have enough staff to move around to check some of this. And that's what I feel, one. Secondly, weak regulation, because at the end of the day, I recall that in 2025 now, 2023, they raided Aba, one market in Aba that is called Cemetery Market, for fake production of drinks, beverages, and hot drinks. Now, how many people were persecuted? That's the issue. They raided that market. We saw loads of shops that were, bottling these drinks in Aba. And these are fake drinks that they were bottling there. Now, how many people were arrested? How many of them were persecuted? How many of them are in jail? These are the issues. So there are weak regulations. These people just go there. I don't want to say they collect something from them and walk away. They just come and show us the things on television. How can you tell me that you went to a warehouse where you discover 300 and something thousand cartons of drugs and you don't know who owns that place?
And that brings me to my question, because when it's at that warehouse, I mean, it's gone to pharmacies across the country. There are distribution channels. How can we get to the source of it? If you are sure these are fake drugs, how do we nip it at the bud? That's why you suggested an intelligence-driven operation. While
I was sitting down there, something was running around my brain. And that is that we have agencies that have overlapping functions. Why don't you remove this drug administration and add it to NDLA? That's what I was feeling down there. I said, look, we have organizations that have overlapping functions. If you
standards organization of Nigeria.
If you ask them now, they will tell you, this one is drug administration. No, drug is drug, my brother. Except you are now trying to, build some mountains out of a molehill. After all, you see, that's why they are doing better out there. Let me give you one example outside this. I had a workshop for one organization in the aviation industry. And that was when we were looking at Electropolis. And I said, look, outside here, in US, in Canada, the agencies that are in charge of accidents are one: road, sea, and air. But here, you have for A, you have for C, you have... I don't know, why are we duplicating these functions? Look at the accident that they had in US yesterday. He said the accident investigation has said this, and that accident investigation covers road, covers rail, covers air.
Maybe we need a department of government efficiency.
As far as this is concerned, I'm looking at the situation where they remove drug administration, add it to NDLA, and let them face food, and what have you.
That's an option. Let's also talk about we as citizens and the role that we have to play in ensuring that, this is not a challenge that we have to deal with in another decade. We're seeing the NDLEA that you mentioned, we have 14 million Nigerians that have become hooked on substance abuse. NAFDAC is making these bust fake drugs. And I don't know that citizens understand the depth of the implication of purchasing fake drugs. People still, I mean, we've seen a reduced element of it, or maybe I'm speaking because I'm not in the heart of the mainland. Certain parts of the country, I'm sure, I mean, growing up, we used to see chemists. People will buy, when you're sick, you go and buy from chemists. Even like malams that sell painkillers, over-the-counter medication. So what role do the citizens have to play in ensuring that we do not continue to have situations like this? And is there also a role that maybe the National Orientation Agency has to play in terms of sensitizing citizens on the implication of fake drugs?
Do you have national orientation? I think that thing has been dead since the era of MAMSA, where what's his name again? I remember his name. That was a time that agency was functioning when it was MAMSA.
Under Babangida.
Yeah. Can I remember? Why am I forgetting this guy's name? Okay. Now, after him, and we came to this national orientation, I don't think they're doing anything. If you ask them, they'll tell you budget this, budget that. They don't have enough budget to do this. They don't have enough budget to do that. And again, we are talking of the role of citizens. The whistleblowing policy in Nigeria doesn't work. That's the issue. People have whistleblown, and at the end of the day, they are the people that are going to jail. You see, so there are issues.
Blow the whistle, another person
there are issues. There are issues here and there. You blow the whistle, they turn it around. Before you know it, you are in trouble. So people are scared. You report to police, and police will go and tell the person, this is the person that reported you, and they start hunting the person.
So we need to ensure that we have the whistleblower policy.
That is it.
Checked and tightened.
Tightened so that when somebody blows the whistle, he doesn't become the whistle himself.
How about us as a people, like Olive said, searching your conscience? Because if you give a baby fake drugs, it's almost a death sentence. It's as good as putting a gun to their head. If you look at Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, it's even on the visas that, look, drug trafficking comes with a death sentence. Some have suggested that until, because these things kill, fake drugs kill. I have a family friend, she took fake medicine and has condition deteriorated faster, and she died before her time. So some have suggested the death penalty as a way to discourage people from from dealing in counterfeit drugs. What are your thoughts on that?
Some countries have, like you mentioned, and I can tell you for free, Germany, for instance, if they catch you on fake drugs or trafficking in drugs, you know what they do? They inject you and let you go. You go and die. It's as simple as that. So it's the same thing with I know one or two people in Nigeria here that carried drugs to Germany. They were caught. They were injected. They came here. When they finished their money, they could maintain themselves again. They just died. They wasted all the whole money they have gotten on earth, and they died. So if Nigeria will bring a policy where when you traffic on fake drugs, and you know that these things are dangerous, you buy people now, at the end of the day, and you see, one of the things that make people do this is that some of the people in government even take these drugs. Some of the people in government have gone to rehab. So what are we saying here? So when they look at this, they go, okay, this one has gone to rehab, now he's a governor, now he's a this, now he's a senator, he's the other one, he's the other one. So at the end of the day, there are no laws to check these things. That's what we're saying. So if we had issues that, okay, if you have gone to rehab as a result of drugs, you can't hold any political position in this country.
If there were consequences.
There are no consequences at all.
That's for hard drugs, not medication.
No, for hard drugs. Okay. No, we are looking at it holistically. Okay. I don't know whether I'm separating the two. That was why I said drug and drug abuse. And when you talk of drug abuse, it includes hard drugs.
I mean, it's a lot. Even coming down to all those mamas that sell agbo that don't understand what they are mixing. They mix different things to you, and they give you. There are people that will tell you that, if I'm sick, don't take me to the hospital. Just mix agbo. That is not to say that native medicine doesn't work, but sometimes because you cannot guarantee the dosage, the quality, you just take it, and at the end of the day, I mean. Professor Simeon Nnah, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show. We look forward to not having conversations like this. It's very heartbreaking to keep talking about these conversations over and over again. But I would say well done to NAFDAC for the bust. We look forward to seeing more and more people being exposed, but not just exposed, being prosecuted.